Afternoon everyone, no respawns, hope you're doing well. So I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm going to be doing a mod review in this video. I had a bit of gander through the mods. Obviously recently I did the the solar powered mod, and I thought, okay, I'll do a nice settlement mod as well. A lot of you probably, well, you know because you've read the thumbnail, but also the video title. But basically, this is called Junker's Airbarge. It's by a mod dev called Spiffyskytrooper. This is on PS4 version I'm playing now, but there is an Xbox version as well. I don't know if there is a PC version. I did look. There isn't one on Bethesda.net unless I couldn't find it, but I wouldn't be surprised at the Nexus version. So someone let me know in the comments, and if there is one, I'll pin the comment so you can find it quite quickly. So it's a pretty cool mod. So where it starts off is just near Vault 11, and that's called Junker's Airbarge. It's very close to Sanctuary, so you can already get it straight off the bat, which is pretty cool. It's quite a funky little player home. Just as a quick note before I even look over it, but basically it is very, 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 very loud. And my only criticism of the mod is it's noisy. It looks amazing, but it's very, very noisy. And with the engines, I'm going to have, obviously, for example, I'm recording right now, and I always have the game volume turned off, so I can actually kind of, narrate properly. I could put headphones in, but I'm too lazy. But basically, it has this little lift up here. But the sound of the engine, so I'll obviously have the sound a little bit quieter, so you can actually hear me speak. But just as an FYI, when you're inside it, it's fine. But when you're outside of it, the engines and everything, it's pretty loud sound, but it looks awesome. So here it is. Here's the lift that goes up, and it is all the way up there. It looks badass. I'm a massive... Those of you following me on Twitter have just heard my ramblings before, but I really, really like airships and boats. I absolutely love them, especially anything kind of post-apocalyptic. It just looks absolutely cool. And they've done a fantastic job on this. It just looks grand. Let's actually run over there a little bit. See it from a distance. I should have actually thought ahead and maybe done for a little bit more of a slower walk up to it so you can see it from a ways. But, look at that. It looks badass. It's a really, really well done mod. At first I thought it was glitching out, or that was because you obviously got the lift cables, but it's pretty good. Okay, so let's run in and have a crafty look-see inside. I have quickly ran up there just to turn off the in-game radios, but I haven't actually... I've deliberately not explored, shall we say. So, I mean, I said no one looks like, I think I have to call the lift. Is it here yet? Oh, no, oh, for fuck's sake. Right, so I cut out the part where I called the elevator back down again. It took a while. Basically, the reason being is when you leave it, you don't take the elevator back, you kind of teleport to the ground, and it seems to reset the elevator as well, which is quite cool. I didn't realise it did that. I assumed I had to wait for it to come down because I'd already left, but it's fine. It's cool. So here it is, as mentioned, very, very loud, but I have the game volume turned down, so it's fine. So basically you've got this nice little area here. You can sit on everything. It's all everything works. There's obviously quite a bit of glitching and kind of clipping of textures, but it doesn't distract you so much. Everything kind of fits together quite nicely. I'm really, really impressed by this. It looks awesome. So let's go on this floor first. So I haven't actually had a proper look round, but the attention to detail. I mean, already look at this. They've actually got an anchor for landing it. I guess it would actually be quite cool potentially if they had already that. I think maybe they could have made it a bit lower down so it wasn't flying too high and maybe hovering a bit lower. That way the lift wouldn't look so weird. That's quite creepy. Oh, is that a synth where they've just murdered a synth or something who's tried to get on board? Got the... oh, this looks fantastic. You've got the bronze lions at the front. That's actually the entrance there. There's the doorway in. I really like it because loads of attention to detail. I like these cranes on the side. I also might use this crane idea for something. Also, the engines look very, very cool. I think a lot of this stuff is from the Pridwin. I believe in the mod description, they did say that it'll use all vanilla elements. That's why you can have it on PS4. So nothing is kind of non-standard, which is quite creative and quite cool. So you've actually got a suit of power armor in here. And it's quite nicely well designed. It's randomly placed for mustaches. Quite well designed little garage. It seems to be all of the stuff inside the containers is kind of part of the standard randomly generated junk, which is quite cool. So it's not one of those mods that will kind of, bar maybe the power armor, but spoiler, there is a power armor right next to Sanctuary anyway, and those of you who played the game a lot know that this is power armor everywhere. So bar the power armor, you don't seem to be given anything to kind of give you an advantage. I do like this, though. Surely if you were to fly off, those would just tumble down and crush someone. But oh well, it looks cool though. So there's the upstairs. One thing to note is you can't actually decorate it yourself. There's no menu available at all. Oh, that's not very nice. Sort that out, Spiffyskytrooper. Not cool. I don't mind a little bit of clippage, but that is just fuggo. So we need fuggos. What the fuck, David? Fugly as shit, yeah. Let's that be sort out. That's quite good. I don't know. I believe you can't. I'm not sure if you can assign settlers here. So, for example, I'm wondering whether this respawns, because if you can't, if I open it up, actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it doesn't actually count as a settlement. So, certainly just admire how gloriously organized my supply routes are. Beautiful. Anyway, so it doesn't count as a settlement, which means I probably can't send settlers here. There's a few pieces of clipping material. So mod dev needs to get on that shit quite fast. Because, you know, things like that, you know, things clipping in are not too bad, but flashing textures need to be sorted out. That's very easy to deal with, by the way. You just raise one of the boards up a little bit. Because the problem is, it's because the two textures are intersecting, so they're fighting for the same piece of, yeah. So it basically, if you just raise up one of them, raise one of them up slightly, you won't have that problem. Like, just like a millimeter, you won't even notice. So it looks quite cool. Anyway, I like the design. It's quite, other than those two annoyingly glitching areas, it seems to work really, really well. The inside looks very cool, so you like that. So let's pop inside. Oh, so it's quite noisy, but I like the look of it. The thumbnail's very cool as well. That was what drew me to it. It's quite a popular mod already, I think. I think a lot of you probably already seen it, but maybe not tried it out. But let's have a crafty gander inside. So I'm quite excited because I haven't actually had a proper look inside, and I did briefly stick my head in, but not enough to actually kind of get my bearings. So quite a nice. It looks a lot like a Diamond City house. It looks kind of a lot like Home Plate, in fact. So it's got, for example, if you actually look at the walls, it's got, you know, the metal kind of Diamond City walls. I've got weapon racks, I like them. And then it's got junk walls. It's quite a good design, actually. I might steal this for when I redo my Home Plate. It's very, the decoration reminds me weirdly of Fallout 3. I don't know why. Because it's a bit more junky than, say, your standard Diamond City house's decoration is. And it looks a little bit more like... And it just makes me think of Fallout 3. I don't know why. Because I think the Capital Wasteland is a bit more destroyed. I do like the small little Brotherhood of Steel there. And the miniature shrunk down statues. I've sung that praises before. Obviously, the USO mod does have things like that in it. But it always makes me happy when I see them. Because it looks cool. So like little action figures and stuff, which is pretty grand. Can we use this computer? Oh, is that a visible wall? Was it that? I had a random... There's a random invisible wall right here. But you can cross over it. So just as a note, random invisible wall. Don't know why. You can't use the computer, unfortunately. There's a safe, though. As mentioned as well, mentioned it again, but they don't seem to have any... kind of give you any free gear. I'll have a look at all the... Normally I have the UI turned off, but I actually kept it on so I could actually look in the containers. The kitchen's really, really nice. And also, I really like the use of the Christmas lights too. And the lighting actually is done really well. That is a fucking awesome idea. I'm going to steal that. That's a really cool one. But the lighting is done really well. Like, the place is really well lit. I hadn't noticed when I kind of quickly dived in here before, but it's incredibly well lit. It's really difficult to light these inside areas. Those of you who've done Home Plate know that. It can be quite a pain in the arse. So that's pretty well done. Everything is a placed item, so it's not kind of glued down. So even though, for example, you wouldn't be able to use the workshop in here, you can actually... you can actually, you know, place your own items and move shit around, which is quite cool. So weapon racks, that's quite cool. The toilet looks very well done. I like the way they've glitched that shower in. This is a really, really cool... I like use of space. If you take a step back, this is actually just a giant open space that they've made using the plain junk walls, as you can see. I've used these before for my building, and they've made it... That's quite an impressive use of space, shall we say. Like, they've actually kind of built a little room inside here, and it's just the bathroom. Quite impressed, quite impressed. So I've got up here. I really like this kind of slightly drop down, and there's some signs as well I'd love to have. Drop down area on the kitchen, as well as the big Nuka-Cola sign. So you've got an upstairs. Squeezed in. Walls are really exciting because they've actually used the giant posters you see around the game, and it's really quite well done. You've got a bobblehead stand. These racks work, which is quite cool. That's quite cool. The Vault-Tec poster thing. There's nothing in there. The radio, which I turned off. A couple of cards. It's got a load of character. This I really like it. More guns and ammo magazines. A bed they've actually bothered to put. I like. That's a good idea. They've used maybe because it was easy to place them on me because they were just bigger, but they've actually used the sacks instead of the normal cushions. And 2 foot lockers as well. So yeah, that's it. It's a really nice little kind of quite highly detailed, very RP friendly. For example, if you were maybe RPing as say an engineer type character, or someone who was going to later join the Brotherhood of Steel, and maybe you wanted to be kind of a bit of a tech with something like that, this could potentially suit you quite well. It's very close to Vault 111, which I quite like. The only thing I would potentially do is maybe make it so it's not so high up, because I think the bridge kind of stands out quite a bit with the elevator, and also they will need to fix those 2 areas with flashing clashing textures, and also maybe see if they can make the actual outside less noisy, because it is really loud, kind of distractingly so, but I really like this idea. I might steal that. And I also might steal this for my home plate as well, because I'm going to redo my survival builds home plate. Anyway, hope you guys like that. I will have a build up tomorrow. I was going to have a build up today, but the build I'm doing I need to redo, and I don't have enough time before the end of today, so I'm just going to upload this. I was going to do this tomorrow instead, on Friday. As always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. I'm going to have my first lore video up hopefully the weekend, or it'll be Monday or Tuesday, but it's going to be very soon. I hope you like it. It's quite fun to make and to write the script and stuff, so it should be quite cool. But as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns, and I'll talk to you lovely people soon. You take care.